Ah, yes. Everything is going to Kakumei. Hey folks, MasakoX here. You might be wondering why I'm covering a Dragon Ball fan manga. Have I run out of ideas? No. Haverock and I have tons of those, and we're usually about 2 to 3 weeks ahead of schedule, so mainline videos are solid. Now if you're a regular on the channel or you've been around for a few years, I've covered a few fan manga tributes back in the day, such as Dragon Ball Zero, Sai, Zeroverse, and of course, Toyotaro's old haunt, Dragon Ball AF. I also make stories myself. There's R&R, Revelation F and what have you, and all the what ifs that you see in your subfeed. It's been a while since I've looked at any of these, and this one, Dragon Ball Kakumei, have been doing the rounds as of late, and so I looked into it. And my goodness! The basic premise is pretty much one of the endings that I hoped for from Dragon Ball Super. I did a video years ago about 5 ways the universe survival arc could end, and this summation sums up Kakumei for me.
The selected fighter wishes for all of the universes that the Omni King destroyed to be revived. Unfortunately, the phrasing of this wish, as done through an angel, probably Whis or another angel, is a little too literal. Instead of just the 7 universes that would be destroyed by the Omni King's promise for the Tournament of Power, all of the previous universes that the Omni King destroyed are revived, including the 6 ones that Zeno destroyed earlier on, like billions of years ago.
See what I mean? So naturally, I gotta look at this manga. You can find a link to the official source in the description, by the way, if you wish to follow along, or check it out for yourself in your own time. So Dragon Ball Kakumei is a project from Darkrows, PoissonLabo, and Reenko, a collective of French Dragon Ball fans who went on to make this. French, eh? I mean, Gohan would love the original translation, am I right? The manga begins with recapping the end of the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, with the arrival of Gogeta, and the summation of all that had gone before. Pretty much just generalizing Dragon Ball. Everything that led up to that moment with Broly and Goku becoming friends, after a very surprising encounter. Yeah, that is a very interesting way of becoming pals, beating the ever-living tar out of each other. Huh? Oh well. But, I mean, Saiyans, eh? Ah, this soothes my soul. We've all been clamouring for Android 17's non-Ranger life to be seen, and BAM! All 3 kids and his partner. There you go. On the boat, no less to boot. Clearly, this manga is going to be looking into things that people want to see in Dragon Ball, and despite this only being part of the general opening gambit and we're not going to explore this properly, at least it's here! At least I know that his family exists, and he wasn't making it up to impress Goku. I mean, that's what the official material conveys to me. It makes 17 look a bit doolally and he's just made it up. As the chapter title implies, this is Goku's last training session, but is it ever? No, not really. It's the last one with Beerus specifically, and the effects can be felt across reality, whilst also giving us some fan service with Universes 6 and 11, and of course Caulifla, being visited to demonstrate the enormity of the battle between Goku and the cat. Again, giving the audience what they want, to know that these places still exist, and we might visit those eventually, whilst also conveying the power of the confrontation. Nice. And then the best fan service of all. The Krill Dog being a total badass cop. Yeah! Whilst also telling Goku off, because in the official series, Krillin never tells Goku off ever. Unless it's to do with the senzu bean. With that opening done, we cut to the battle proper, and the art... Oh, the art. Whilst it's not accurate to Toriyama style exactly, it's elegant in its own right. This took a lot of time to do, and a lot of passion has gone into this project, so for that, I applaud the artists for their dedication. You can tell it isn't official content, but right now, that doesn't matter. Let's just enjoy this nice culmination of the beginning of Super. Something I've been keen to see. A rematch between these 2 titans, which is recreating the universal shaking that we saw in Battle of Gods. And Shin has to, of course, be a little concerned about everything being a little whiny nanny. This isn't just happening with a punch though this time. The shaking is happening all the time now. Goku and Beerus, they're rocking the dragon, and Shin here don't like it. Over the next several pages, we see the battle unfold out in space, with Goku seemingly using his aura to breathe in space? My best guess? Sort of like how he could use his ki to fend off Lavender's poison back in the tournament. Well, it seems like if ki can do anything at this point, maybe I can get it to do the washing up? But in any case, the duel is tearing whole worlds asunder, and this is where things get a little iffy with me. Despite the excellent art quality, it doesn't feel right that Goku would be okay with this level of a fight, planets being ripped to shreds for the sake of a battle. But granted, Goku isn't a hero in the traditional sense, but I think any good person wouldn't be so selfish. But hey, Goku isn't your typical good person. But still, I don't know. This seems to be going a little too heavy in the fan service department now, but you cannot ignore this shot. That looks like it hurt. Jeez. And trust me, it gets more graphic. You also know that Beerus is serious by mimicking Goku taking clothes off, fighting without his shirt. You know that the cat means business. And with Goku using all his courage, uniqueness, nerve and talent, he is now using smokescreen, diversions, and other stunts aplenty to get the jump on Beerus, and it results in Goku actually doing the deed. A point-blank ki blast going through. You guessed it, another planet. But at least it connected with Beerus, until it didn't. Beerus is able to somehow teleport back instantly, grabbing Goku by the face before the Saiyan transmits away himself, starting the chase anew. It continues through several planets, including eviscerating the planet Gia in one swift move, and singeing a poor dog goat. Don't you dare harm the doggo, guys!
It's okay, Alpha. Daddy will protect you from Goku and Beerus. It's okay.
But what does look cool, though, is when Beerus grabs Goku and flings him across the stars. You can tell that Beerus has got a lot of joy in his eyes, as they now bring the fight to its next tour destination, Taco Taco. And their arrival is, let's just say, impactful. And probably killing dozens of folks in the process. Again, this just feels a little heavy-handed. This wouldn't happen in this magnitude in the actual manga. Despite it being able to be darker than the anime these days, Toyotaro can do more. And that face? Ooh! I thought Goku in Movie 7 was terrifying, but that? Oh man, that's gonna give first film Hirudegarn a run for their Zenny. Finally, Goku is starting to understand that maybe decimating planets for the final battle between him and Beerus might not be the best of ideas. And when Beerus is about to blow up the planet, surprise surprise, with Goku on it, he goes to tell the cat to stop it. But not before, of course, some comedic gags with one of the Takotakans hitching a ride, and now Goku has a handicap to boot. And oh yeah, the moon of Taco Taco gets destroyed, so something does. But hey, Goku saved a planet, at least. Right? Is that better? But we then cut to Beerus's planet. I guess those two weren't satisfied with the battle there, and so they went on to destroy other places after ruining their own. Whis is impressed that Goku has been able to fight Beerus for a total of half an hour, or about 6 freezes in my own personal metric of time. But the Oracle Fish is asleep throughout all of this, dreaming about universes, consequences, and endings of things. Sort of like actually what happened in the Granolah arc, actually, so points for accuracy there. Whis assumes that this is to do with the battle raging out there in space, endings and consequences in universes, but it probably isn't. It never is. We then cut to Earth, and the damage has been vast. Probably billions of Zenny in damages, but whilst regular humans attribute it to a natural earthquake, a disaster of a regular kind, the Dragon Team know it was Goku's doing. Of course it was. And another example of him being a selfish hero. Gohan is keen to see his father, since there will be most likely no conferences happening anytime soon because they'll all probably destroy the venues, but he wants to test his training against his father soon, whilst Piccolo is intrigued how Gohan can manage this with his studies. And what does Gohan say, folks? I'll find a compromise. You see, Super? That's how you do it. You sort out a big problem with Gohan in one sentence. Gohan's smart enough to find a balance between fighting and studying. It's not exactly rocket science, and Gohan's probably good at rocket science. These guys get Gohan. I'm sorry, Toyotaro, you claim to be a Gohan fan. Just use this sentence, alright? Meanwhile, Vegeta is Pishin in the wind, on planet Pishin. The planet has 2,000 times Earth gravity, I think, and he's also wearing weights as well. He can sense that even this level of gravity training isn't enough to keep up with Goku, and he feels like he's stagnating. I mean, fair enough, cheats. Even Fan Manga's gotta do you down. But we then cut to a few minutes earlier to see why Vegeta feels this way, and that's Goku's back. Muscles exposed. The only thing I'm gonna say is, do not rub salt on that wound. At this point, Goku is really nettled, and that's got nothing to do with the fact that his skin's been vaporized and his back muscles are on display. He now gets that this battle is getting out of hand. but his energy is running low. That is until Ultra Instinct Omen shows up! When this power comes into play, Goku's words right now just sorta don't mean anything? Why? Well, for his final attack, instead of protecting other planets, Goku is using his energy to grab other planets for his own gain! And dozens more to form a giant planet dragon! Yeah! At Beerus! I'm sorry, what? Contradicting yourself much? But I mean, hey, I suppose this isn't that crazy. I mean, you have Super Shenron, a dragon who is as big as thousands of galaxies combined, so okay, Kakumei, you got me there. This then provokes Beerus to use Ultra Instinct in combination with his destroyer powers. Now, even though Beerus isn't adept using UI, he can still sort of use it, but he doesn't actually use it in the official sources. This is enough to add something in terms of power. But then it looks pretty gnarly. However, we do know that in the manga there is a power that's more suiting to Beerus' power set, and it's not Ultra Instinct. But sadly though for Beerus, before Goku is about to unleash his ultimate Kamehameha, them going out together in a ball of molten rock and death, he runs out of puff, Goku, falling out of consciousness. And only then does Beerus realise that his planet was destroyed in the crossfire of their own battle. You know, post-coitus realisation. So they go to Shin's place and Beerus demands that he use his Kai powers to restore order to the planets that he had wrecked, despite Shin not being able to do this in a timely manner. I mean, quite frankly, I'm mostly surprised the fact that Shin could even do it at all these days. Now, after that's been taken care of, the meat of the series comes into play. The angels are gathered to talk to their father. The GP has called them forth to discuss the wish that 17 had recently made after the Tournament of Power on the Super Dragon Balls. He had wished for all of the universes erased by Zeno to be restored, and in this case, that meant all of them. Not just the ones from the contest, but any universe that had been wiped out by the Omni King. And it wasn't 18 universes apparently either. There was another. Universe 19. Also known as Universe 0. Corny name, but okay. The GP had kept this place secret, even from his own children. And the reason why becomes apparent because we get this female angel being coming in. It sort of reminds me of Days of Our Lives when Joey is playing a character who's had their brain transplanted into his body. And it's like, what's wrong, children? Don't you even recognize your own mother? And that's where the chapter ends. All in all, the basic premise of this manga intrigues me. I had always wanted to see how 17's wish could be interpreted by the cosmos, and in this story, it's taken very literally. Instead of just the 7 universes erased in the tournament being brought back, whatever realm that Zeno had ever taken out at any point in history has been restored, including a 19th universe that was not known to anyone other than the GP seemingly. I mean, to be fair, that's not exactly hard to do because Zeno probably doesn't even care or is aware of anything outside of his own head. And then, of course, the angels, they're busy with their own universes, so the GP, he's got a lot of time on his hands. Clearly, this is going to handle the issue in Super that the deities are incompetent, having tons of skeletons in their closets, and pushing previous problems under the carpet. Now, while I like that initial premise and the artwork is sublime, this all feels a little too intense for me. It's not genuine to the original style of Toriyama in that there is a source of levity and simplicity in that, but it's not here. Granted, sometimes the manga of Super can feel too simple, but here it feels like I'm about to have a lot of information dumped on me as well, so I gotta pay attention. But I like paying attention to this, to be fair. And also being said, what I do love is the handling of the minor characters here. Krillin, Gohan, 17, perfect. Chef's kiss. Just what we needed from them, and acknowledging their place in the story and the grievances that the fandom have had with them for the past few years. Seeing Gohan come to terms with his life priorities in a mature manner that is realistic? Great! The people behind this manga know what they're talking about when it comes to these side characters, for sure. And when it comes to Goku, I feel that that was decent too. He does get absorbed in the battle, of course he does, but he is finally able to understand the danger he's put others in. When it's too late, of course, but yeah, that's not how a normal hero should act. Hey, at least he got Beerus to fix the problem. Only because his own home was affected. It suited him. I would say this has got my curiosity, and I am glad to see how words can change a plot. This time, 17's wish may come back to cause even more trouble for everybody. Hey, at least it's not Goku's fault this time. But what do you folks think? Do you want me to continue reviewing this series, or would you rather see it for yourself, and this isn't worth me covering specifically? Leave a comment below, and let's get this discussion going. And I will see you in the next video. Catch you later!